is advised.
Hey everyone, this video is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering you a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial membership. All you need to do is go to audibletrial.com/bgunlocked. The link is in the description below, and now enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome to the discussion for Enchanters Overlords. Alright guys, so what do you think of Enchanters Overlords?
I like it.
I do too.
It is a good game.
Right?
Very, yeah.
I am a sucker for games that have like a bunch of like cards. Like I'm really into card games lately. So like ones that actually have like, especially cards that you just mix. So like that smash up mentality where it's just like boom, okay, like and you have a wildly different game out of it. So like the fact that so we went with gnolls, mages, and slimes, which weren't my favorite combination in the world. I feel like the one that we did last time, which was it was bandits,
unicorns,
demons, and we played with 4 on accident instead of the 3. And I think like goblins or something, or undead. No, cultists.
Oh.
And it's just like, actually, it's probably right on this startup thing. No, it was bandits, whatever the fuck. Yeah, bandits, cultists, unicorns, and goblins. That's what we played with our first time, because that's what it recommends. And I felt like that was just a wildly different game than what this one ended up being.
It had it was balanced, I think. Because they had the healing aspect, which this one sorely lacked. But what really tied it together was where we started. So.
Oh, the Mycelium Halls?
Yeah.
The village. And I gotta say, though, so any negatives? Do we have any negatives about the game? No. I guess technically, I have one, and then one that could be a negative for other people. So, if anything's popping into your heads, things you don't like.
I mean, it's so monster dense so quick. I mean...
that's kind of the point of the game.
Yeah, it's to fight the monsters, and then they become an encumbrance.
Because that's where your main points are going to be coming from, are monsters. But yeah, it definitely can feel, just with the randomness of the deck, it could just be like monster after monster, and you have nothing to fight.
Right. You can find yourself in a huge dry spell, which can be just disheartening.
Right.
But despite it all, we all came out rather close together.
Really close.
Very close.
Yeah, 33.
Yeah, more than like a 3-point difference at least.
33, 30, 27.
Yeah.
I think it's really what it was. So yeah, I mean, and the entire time, like, I never felt like I was doing great, but I didn't feel like I was doing bad, just because I was able to kill that 11, and then just had 3s and 5-pointers the entire time, but I was struggling so hard.
Yeah, I thought it was over when you got that dragon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, and then I was sitting there and I looked over when we were scoring, and then I saw that you had 1 point for each slime, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, that's a 5-pointer on top of your 11. But Cat had a slew of monsters, so I thought that was going to end up coming out. But yeah, I mean, it was still a really close game. But so my initial negative is actually the quality of the game. These cards and playmats and tokens are really shitty. Like, it feels, these cards feel very grimy.
They have that.
You mainly
like
feel
a linen.
You mainly feel them on these, like the cover. You can even see it, like for when the light hits it, how like it's just like all lines, and it just feels, I don't know. These just feel so weird. If they feel damp,
I feel like they feel fine on me, but like I know
maybe they're like oil resistant or something.
I know,
they might be, but it's like
the back is way slick.
Yeah, the back is slick, but the front is like if I'm trying to like sort through these, they like stick together.
Huh.
I don't like it. It's like it lends itself to.
It's just.
It lends itself to like moisture.
Oh my God.
Moisture.
I know that there are games that like there's one and it feels rough to me and it makes me feel like my hands are dry.
That was Tapestry.
Yes. And I know what you're talking about. Like I hate that. This specifically makes me like, it exaggerates the perspiration on your hands.
And like whenever you're looking at it and you see like the light hits it, you actually
catching.
Right. You can't even really see it. The game feels cheap. Now it kind of was, so, but
see. And, like, I just feel like this is one of those games that, like, it doesn't need to have metal coins. The cards, I understand they could be a little bit better. The playmats could definitely be a little bit better.
Right.
Instead of this, like, weird pleathery
Yeah, it's like it just feels awful.
Bus seat
like
feeling.
If playmats are essentially like not neoprene, it's like don't bother.
Yeah, everyone
honestly.
wants a mouse pad.
Yeah,
playmat,
like that's really
this.
what should have happened. But and they went on Kickstarter too, so it's like, hey, you got the money.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how much it was.
I was gonna say.
But I mean, that's really like the only negative. But the good thing is it doesn't hinder the game in any way.
Right.
Like it's not like things are tearing or like once it's laying down, you can still see everything. And the art in the game is beautiful and
cute.
it's
It is,
really
yeah.
and really good. I love the humor in the game, like the touch of references over 9,000.
And we've learned that we're suckers for Mad Libs. Things come together. We just are.
I get so excited, and that's why like I get kind of bummed when there's not a lot of options. Is because like I wanted to keep getting more things to make new sentences because it's just funny.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
So that was kind of my only negative, and then the second negative could be that, and I like this, but your experience with the game is going to be heavily dependent on the three. Or the decks that you put in.
Very much so.
So,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Me too, because I mean, like, you'll never get tired of playing it, because it's like, oh, played with this faction one too many times.
Yeah, let's take gnolls out and let's
Choose a
put
new
goblins
one.
in, and that'll kind of change how the game is kind of played, the combinations of items that you can make.
Right.
And this combination factor is really cool, and you do have some choices to make where it's like, man, dude, this is really like my of power that I held onto the entire time.
Yeah.
And I was like,
nice.
I used it to kill the dragon, then I had to get rid of it, and then pretty much after that is kind of where it went downhill for me.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Like, man, the dragons are so juicy, but they cost something. I mean, this guy, the fact that to get him, I had to discard 2 monsters.
Right.
Yeah.
So ultimately, because I lost, and I had to spend a monster to beat him. Ultimately,
right, yeah.
I had to spend 9 points
So he was
to
only-
get 11 points.
Yeah, so you only netted 2 points.
2 points for the whole endeavor.
Yep. And I think you took like 5 wounds or something.
No, he actually didn't give me wounds. He did
Oh,
not
that's
deal a
right.
lot of damage.
He was weak. He was weak. You were gonna attack someone, but you didn't because it would have given you a wound.
Oh, yeah, because
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kat, what do you like about this game?
I mean, I like that, you know, it has variations that you can switch everything up. I mean, I like everything that we're talking about. I do like one thing that I'm really big on is like the artwork is really cool. Like I kept looking at the Knoll and I'm like, he just looks, you know, really like evil, and the slimes, you know.
It's slime.
The slimes just look like they belong in like a cute little cartoon, and
right.
And like the mages look like well, her specifically, him not so much. They look like they belong in like a Disney movie or like a some other sort of animated movie before they all got 3D. And then like Rock kind of looks like he belongs in maybe Pokemon. It's like a very evolved Pokemon.
You can tell they were kind of inspired by a lot of like media.
That's kind of what I'm trying to go for.
Right.
And it's just really, really pretty. Like it's just really cool. I like it. It's fun.
The game's not long.
It's not
either.
long.
Especially this one.
And like
this one with
well,
Cerberus.
And one thing too is like I'm like always into it. Like you can tell how into a game I am by like how many times I like lean over and like like get in there. And I feel like with that, like we were all kind of like at one point we were all just like really like in.
Right.
So I just in general I like it.
I'm not 100% sold on this game being great with 3. Because there is quite a bit to take that.
You do start to feel like really targeted because like even if I feel like I'm not targeting you that much, you still feel like you are being targeted because maybe Devin just targeted you.
Right.
But it's like, well, I didn't target you last time, so I'm gonna do it again. But you're like, but Devin.
Just attacked me. Like at the beginning of the game, I got that item, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna grab this and get rid of it." And it's like that doesn't really. I don't care.
Well,
like,
it was to attack early game. That's
right.
Nice.
Right. And it's like I don't really care. But in a 3-player game, someone's the middleman.
Yeah.
And it's usually, since you can easily see their victory points regardless of, unless you really want to sit there and math it out and be like, okay, so Devin is going to get this. Okay, so he'll be at 30.
Yeah.
Okay, Seth is going to be at 27. Okay, I'm going to target Devin.
All I did was I was like, oh, okay, you have more monsters. And you both had a dragon at that point, so I was like, well, you both have
I mean, I really didn't have any leverage to sit there. Like if I had less and it's like, why me though?
Right,
like
right.
I don't even have the most.
And it's hard to keep it even in a 3-player game because like I said, it's like, well, I can try to spread it out evenly, but like you can't. At one point, 3's not an even number. You can't do that.
Right.
Someone's gonna get shit on.
Yeah, but I mean the game's quick enough that it should be taken into account that this is more of a whimsical take than any type of like area control or dueling game.
Yeah.
Because like obviously there's a journey track and there's a turn order, so it's like, okay, well obviously that's a really good card and now it's cheap, but you do risk reward. It's like, well, it's at 5. Okay, I'll spend all 5 to get it to ensure that I'm getting it. Or I can try and wait. Okay, well, by the time it gets to it'll be at 3. Kat has some, so she might buy it. Or she might not. She might want something else, and then it goes down. It's like, oh, great, it's cheaper.
Yeah, my general rule is, like, if I'm waiting on a card, like, if I'm like, okay, it's at 5, and it goes down, somebody else buys it, I'm like,
yeah,
I waited. Like I didn't have to wait. Like, if I have the coins, it's like...
Right. 2, 3, 4, 5,
I never really felt like I was being punished for anything, either. Mm-hmm. Like, if I couldn't afford something, like there was always something for me to do, even if it was just resting. It's like so important to get your health back. I always felt like something was in the works for me.
Well, I remember the last village we had did not do well in terms of healing. Well, actually, in terms of like, I don't remember which one it was.
It was some like glorious white city or some shit.
You know, I think you are correct. I guarantee you it's going to be the very top one as I'm looking through. Sun Tower. As a rest, that's right. It was this one, right? The Sun Tower?
I think so.
I think so, too. You rest, another player heals 1, and then you take 4. Or when you rest, you can take 2 crystals.
You take 4 or take
4,
2 crystals?
another player heals 1, and then you take 4 crystals.
Oh, by healing somebody. Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
And so that one's rough. We had to rely on other people doing it.
We also had unicorns assisting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I like how this one, I had a unique balance. I kind of like how you can have with the different talents and the different, bosses, because I didn't realize that, because I don't think the other guy influenced the track as much, the first boss we fought.
No, I'll see if I can
find this guy was
too.
all over the track, and I really thought that was cool. Yeah. It was annoying, but it was very thematic that he's guarding our treasures that we're trying to get.
Right, he was like prowling the land.
Yeah.
And every Overlord is radically different. For the record, there are 27 Overlords.
Damn. Different Overlords, different cities.
There he is. Was it Jupiter?
Yes.
Was it this guy? So all moblins, all monsters and dragons get +1 health and +1 damage if they're 3 or more back.
Oh, yeah.
And then whenever you rest and a monster goes back, you lose 2 gems. If it's a dragon, all players lose 2. And then to challenge him, you had to spend 3 gems to fight him, and he had 7 attack and 2 health. After you got it, this actually did something. It was 4 points, and you got a boot, and I believe the boot allowed you to ignore a gem. That's so your first 2 were free, and I think it was cheaper afterwards.
Nice.
So he was definitely a better one to fight. But here's the thing. Once you challenge him, you can't challenge him again once you got this. But these were worth 4 points. And for the record, if people do think this game is too cutthroat, which I don't think it's probably just the right amount, there's a co-op mode.
Yeah.
And for a short game, like, it's just cutthroat enough. Because there's definitely been games where it's like, no, this is just, like, too much for me.
Yeah. It's kind of like Cutthroat Caverns.
But...
Like the one where, like, obviously the person who gets the last hit kills the monster, but you have to work together. It's semi-co-op, I guess.
Yeah. It's just, it's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah. So there's 27 different Overlords, and then there's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 38 villages.
Wow.
And I believe some of these are meant to be for co-op, but it doesn't have to. Like, he was meant for co-op, hence why it says he takes 10 wounds and he gets stronger. The wounds itself in the competitive game did nothing, but I thought he was interesting. Like, it made you kind of think a little bit more.
Yeah, well, he also was a little sneaky because every once in a while, like, his color scheme, like, if he was on, like a blue slime and you're not paying attention, you're like, oh shit, he is on that. Like, you're like, why am I taking 18 damage?
Yeah.
Like,
I love the simplicity of the game too.
Yeah.
Like, it's you're combining decks. I
feel like this is just like a really quick game that someone could pick up. Like, this is definitely something that, like, I would bring along with, like, friends. is
right.
Good game night game.
Yeah, I mean it plays up to 4. I can see this being really good. I know people play it at 2 and they like it at 2. And 2 players wouldn't be too bad because it's like if I'm attacking, so it's like obviously I'm picking you, so it's not
less cutthroat. You don't feel as personal about it. It's just like haha.
Yeah. And then 4 players. I mean, unless all 3 other players gang up on one person, it's like, okay, you all suck. But that most likely wouldn't happen.
Yeah, that would be really...
And the balance, you go until the deck's out. And, I mean, the end game is kind of... Not the point gathering. I personally love...
when there's no track.
When there's no track. Like, if it's like, going up as you gain points. I always love that. I always don't really care for that. I like everyone adding it up and be like, oh, here's what I got. Because there's like with whatever Godspeed that we played earlier, it's like, okay, so Cat got 19, Devin 41, Seth 43, boom! It's always a little bit more tense and exciting. Other than that, I mean, I'm excited for their next one. Let's see what that one adds.
A bunch of big booty bitches.
You are pretty close.
Fucking Gorgons and gods and no Titans, gods.
Oh yeah, the Odyssey expansion, which added the Zeus, and I mean there's a bunch down here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
so these
13,
are
14,
already
15,
in.
16, 17, 18, 19. There are 22 different decks, and I don't even think we did this, but there are like banners that you could get. So you know how everyone starts out with the Fists of Enchanting? Mm-hmm. Well, there's banners that you can get. So there's a Null banner, and then banners for the different enemies. And so I think these are, I don't even know how these come into play, but like the Null banner, for example, is 1 point for every 3 monsters. So I don't know if this is just something that are there, and they're like kind of like.
Would they replace our? I think they would replace our Fist, wouldn't they?
Those don't. Those might. Yeah, I think it's the banners, and then you have the classes. Because the banners are those, and then they're the different classes. So you can definitely give like some variation if you don't really like everyone starting with the Fist of Enchantment, which is nothing. These give you something to smite for. So like if Devin had the Knolls, because that's who we picked, then he had the Knolls of Miners. So as a like for a gem, you can bury the top item or enchantment. Mm-hmm. Or of Rogues. After using Arrest, all other players lose 1 gem. So this gives you some variation if you don't want to start the same. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I think the AI deck might be for the co-op or for the solo. And there's also an event deck that I forgot about. That's also probably for the thing. But I was curious as to what I spent on this. Enchanters Overlords.
I'm gonna say it was a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
$70.
$70?
Yeah.
For everything was $108.
Oh, man.
But the latest Kickstarter, which was I think Enchanters Mythics, that's what it was called. Could be totally. Yep, I have no idea. But I mean, that's not. It doesn't really matter.
Is this on retail, or is it just a Kickstarter?
I think it was just Kickstarter.
I mean, did you have to pledge 108, or did you just pledge 100?
I mean, you don't have to, but that was for everything. So, like, my personal pledge was $100, and I will say for $100, I was kind of upset with the way that the cards came out.
I would be, yeah.
That's the only reason why I bring it up. That it does feel kind of cheap.
We all know, just Kickstarter kind of has a. Just because you're paying $300 does not mean you're getting high quality.
Right, well, it was $100.
Well,
Enchanter's East Quest is the pledge. It's because it has Mythic games. So, like, my pledge was $40. And that comes with, the new decks are ninjas, monks, samurais, nagas, pirates, and geishas. So, what did I say? There were 20 something. So that'd probably put up to like 27 plus any stretch goals that they got, plus new overlords, villages, and things. Nice. So, I don't know. I love games like this, and this game is a lot of fun. So, yeah. You guys have anything else?
No.
Cool.
Okay.
Scale of 1 to 10, I'll start. I'm going to give it an 8. Like, I thoroughly enjoy it. And I remember last time we played it, because I remember the first time we played it, I didn't think you cared for it that much.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I mean, now more what to expect, you know, kind of getting a groove for it.
Right? I mean, it's almost like each combination you're going to have to kind of learn the nuances of how these decks are going to work together.
How able am I to handle all these wounds?
Right? Yeah, like, oh wow, the gnolls just, okay, I can attack them, but they make me get rid of monsters, the mages make me get rid of my enchantments, and the slimes are just there. It's like, okay, how... I don't know, because you really like Smash Up, so it's just kind of, it's just that kind of idea. So yeah, I'm going to give it an 8. 7.
Yeah, I think I'm right up there with you. I really enjoyed it. I would, I would definitely play it again. I'm almost willing to give it a 9.
A 9, wow.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, for the material and whatnot. I mean, and it's only on Kickstarter. It's not on retail or anything. I don't
think it's retail, but I mean, you can always see if it's on their website. Now, I mean, one thing I've learned is all games are findable. Like,
right.
I could easily, there's multiple Facebook pages that I'm a part of that you just put a request out, someone's selling it.
Yeah.
It does, like, this game might be too random for some people, or they're like, wow, they play it once and they're like, wow, these 3 sucked, so the game sucks. And it's like, no. If that was the mentality, I've played a lot of combination of Smash Up decks that do not do well together, and it's like, but most of the time they do. Yeah. And so you just gotta work through it and figure out the strategy. Yeah. So
I mean, both times were fun, and it felt like you kind of had to think ahead, and it's a good time. Lots of replayability. Yeah, I would give it a 9.
Awesome.
I had a good time.
Because like also even the fact these 3, like it's not even the decks that you would change. If we did these 3 with a different village and a different Overlord, it would play differently. Like, and that would be pretty cool. So, Kat?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
8.5. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Just split the middle, huh?
Yeah, because you've always start off with either me or Devin, so my number was right there at the forefront, and you said 8, and I was like, oh, and Devin said 9, and I was like, oh, I'm sticking to my guns, 8.5.
Awesome.
Good old game.
So, that's our thoughts on Enchanters Overlords. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.